What's up, man?
Hey Jake, how you doing, man? It's good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you too, man.
The website I
Where
write.
are you right now?
What's
In
that?
the world. Where are you right now?
I'm outside Philadelphia.
Okay, alright, good to know. I just like to know where, people are.
Where are you in New York right now?
No, I came to LA for basically a day. We have our premiere tonight for the movie in LA, and then Michael and I did the Alma Awards last night. So, we've just been hustling this movie around. So, I'm going back to New York today, but after the premiere. So,
Okay, cool.
we're in LA.
The website is called ballerstatus.com, and we
Okay.
do a lot of stuff with hip hop. And I was curious, do you listen to hip hop at all?
Yeah, man. Of course, that's like a majority. That's a majority of my playlist right there. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Who's like your favorite rapper?
Oh well, I mean, Jay is my favorite rapper. Jay Z is my favorite rapper.
Yeah, that's my favorite rapper too. Yeah, I saw the movie. I got a screening on my computer. I watched it twice because it was that good. And
Oh shit.
did you actually have to audition for this movie, or did they just call you and ask you to be in it?
No, I did. Well, it's a weird. It's like a weird. It's a weird thing when you. I feel like I had to audition for it, but at the same time, it was one of those things where like once I got it, it was like it was something I was involved in. Like I felt like from the beginning almost. So and then I eventually got like a producing credit on the movie like as a result of my work on it. So it was sort of a strange process, but yeah, I auditioned for it because Dave was like, "Yo, you didn't grow up like this. I don't know if I can believe you as a police officer. I need you to show me." And I was like, "Okay." And then he's like, "And if you show me, then you need to spend 6 months of your life on the street, like actually becoming it. Could you do that?" And I was like, "Yes." So that was the process, really.
So how did you show him that you could do the role?
Well, I mean, I'm an actor, so at first I just acted my way through it. I mean, a lot of stuff is just behavioral. Particularly with the cop, is like a lot of the scenes happen in the car, and so just being able to have four or five things going on at once. A police officer, particularly the character I play, since he's in the passenger seat, he's dealing with a computer, he's dealing with investigation reports, he's also keeping an eye out on the street. So like be able to do the scenes and also feel like what you're doing, behaviorally is real. Like that was one of the big things. And then eventually he just said, I'm gonna wear you down till, you know, you really feel like it, cause like a real cop. But that took 5 months of like devotion to like 2 or 3 nights a week on ride-alongs with cops, like from 4 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning, and then tactical training with live ammunition. Um, for like the guy who trained SWAT, 2 times a week, like 6 hours of you know sessions for that, and learning like doing tactical exercises, movement exercises, shooting at targets with live ammunition, and then fight training every morning at a dojo over in Echo Park with one of Dave Ayer's best friends who has a dojo over there, MMA fighting, and I think eventually, you know, just getting the crap beat out of you enough, and then shooting with live ammunition and really feeling the pressure of that situation and being on the street and feeling those pressures and being there enough, like eventually you start wearing it, you know.
For the movie, was any of that stuff based on anything that actually happened, like all the cases and the stuff you guys saw?
All of it,
So everything that
all of it
happened in
was
the movie is true, like based on something
all of
true.
it, all of it. Like even the very first fight where Mike takes off his Sam Brown and he fights that blood like in his house.
Yeah.
Like that was an actual situation that happened with one of our technical advisors and his partner. That was a story. Dave's stories that he learns because he's so involved with like law enforcement, and he's also so involved with the gangs. Like Southeast LA is just his world. All these stories, particularly even the cartel and those issues, and yeah, every single one. Like finding a kid with a duct tape in the crack addict's house, all that stuff. Like that's all. Those are all real situations. Like every single one of them. Yeah.
I think
Um.
one of the best parts of the movies is your chemistry with Michael Pena. Did you guys did you know each other before this, or did you just kind of click right away?
Um. We um. We knew each other in passing. I mean, I knew Michael because he played my sister's husband. My sister played his wife, I guess I could say, in World Trade Center, that Oliver Stone movie.
Oh, okay.
So I met him, through that kind of indirectly, and I would see him every once in a while, but I didn't know him well at all. No, we didn't know, and yeah, that's also why Michael and I spent all this time preparing together. Was we need to become brothers. I mean, we needed to. I mean, we needed to like get to the point where we just annoyed the crap out of each other for real, and that we could actually give each other shit, and that we could actually fight, and we would know that there'd be the other side of it, and that was like to us, that was the entire movie. So he's one of my good friends now from this experience.
Did you guys ad lib at all, or is everything he's saying on script?
I would say that I'd say like 90% of it is all scripted. All of that stuff was scripted. Like, I mean, Dave's dialogue is pretty spot on and it's pretty incredible. But like I'd say another 10% of it is us having spent a lot of time together. And then like that whole scene about marrying a Mexican girl. That's all us improv. That's all improv. Like when he's like, I'm making fun of him, he's making fun of me. That was just us in the car, like in between takes, the camera's still rolling, and us giving each other shit. Like knowing we were obviously playing, the parts, but that was improv. And lots of stuff all over the place. Where we were filming with tons of different cameras, and I'm filming him. So like, well, even that thing where I was like, I don't know if you remember this, but stuff like at the beginning of scenes where I'm like, oh, he's like, we got tickets to the Dodgers, Gabby and I got tickets to the Dodgers, you want to come? I'm like, oh no, we're going to Santa Barbara this week. Jane and I are going to Santa Barbara this weekend. And he's like, we roll up on those Bloods, and then we have a conversation with him, and then I go, hey, yo, Trey, you like the Dodgers? And he's like, what? Yeah, why? You want to maybe some tickets? And I'm like, oh yeah. And he's like, no. And Mike's like, no, it's cool. Like that's all improv with all of us. So all that stuff is, it's like.
Oh, that's. I like the movie because it had comedy too. When you were talking about marrying a Mexican and the quinceañeras, and you were mimicking him, that was probably the funniest part.
Yeah, that was all improv. Yeah, but I mean, Michael's probably one of the funniest, comedic actors I think like around. I mean, all of his comedic work. Like, I don't know if you've seen him in other places, but he's hilarious and his humor is just ridiculous. So when you're working with someone like that, and you have enough skill to keep up, or at least sort of barely, then it works out well.
I was curious, how come your character never drove the police car? Do you know if there's a reason for that?
Yeah, because partners. I mean, sometimes they'll switch back and forth. Sometimes they'll switch like depending on the partners, but it was. But a lot of times, that's just how it'll be. The one police officer is just better at doing, one thing than the other. And Zavala's character was just, a really good driver, and I just was dealing with all the, I think also just like on a whole other level, it was just the idea that like Zavala was just like kind of much more physical like character who could jump into shit and get involved in that way, and I was a little more heady and just the guy who dealt with paperwork. He was the one who would jump in the middle of the fight, and I'd have to pull him back. So I think that's the same idea like in the car was that my character would drive and I would write it all down.
Yeah, there was a lot of like suspense in the movie as well. Like when you guys pulled over the guy who tried to shoot at you, and we didn't know what was in the back seat because didn't show it right away. And I thought that really added to the movie too, like a sense of suspense because they did that a lot.
Yeah, I mean that's David's strong suit. I mean, like a lot of times that's what happens. I mean, at least in what I would see is like you pull someone over and it'd be like, it'd be something suspicious, but you couldn't figure it out. It wouldn't be someone getting, pulling out a gun and shooting at you, but something would, and then all of a sudden, you'd pull out like, you'd pull out like a weapon from the glove compartment, or it'd be hiding under the seat, or it'd be like, dug up under the carpet of the floor, and you'd be like, whoa, that was a close call. That police officers do that all the time. So, yeah, I mean, the suspense of the movie is where that's, I think, where it all resides. When people see the movie, they're always like, shit, I felt like I went on an actual ride along with two police officers, because every moment is like filled with all this tension, and you're like walking into a house like, what's gonna happen next, you know? And it doesn't let up. So.
Right. I mean, and not to get off topic, but you know, I'm a huge Heath Ledger fan, and I was just curious. Maybe you could tell me like a story about Heath Ledger, like maybe the first time you guys met, or like some funny memory you have of him.
Oh man, I have many funny memories. He was an amazing guy. I mean, um, you know, great ones. I mean, you know, we went through a pretty amazing time on our both of our lives together. So, you know, in making the movie we made together, and then the aftermath of it. You know, um, funny stories. I mean, I don't know. He was like, I don't know if I can pull one up right now, but all I can say is that I miss him. So.
Hey, that's good enough for me. So what do you have planned after this? I mean, I feel like when an actor does a kind of movie like this, the next movie is usually like the complete opposite. You know, if you do an action movie, you got to do like a drama or something.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'm doing a play right now in New York City, so I'm up on the stage right now doing a play, British play. So I'm playing like British character right now. But I also just did this movie with, I don't know if you saw this movie Ensemble in Mendes, I guess people call it. Um, it's a pretty dope movie that this French director did. Like, and I play two characters, so I meet myself in the movie. We just finished shooting that. I play like a history teacher and an actor actually in the movie. So I played two characters, and they met each other. So there's a whole world of technical stuff we were dealing with there, but it was pretty. I'd say it was pretty fun to act with myself.
So you did source code, so you kind of did a movie like this before. But how when you found out about this movie, like how bad did you want to be involved? Like
In the movie, in the
in End of
which one?
Watch, End of
In
Watch.
End of Watch, really bad, man. I mean, I read it. I read it in L.A. I had been doing a tour for source code actually, sort of around Europe, and I came back to L.A. And I was given the script to read, and I was jet lagged, and so I woke up at like 5 a.m. and it was still dark outside, and I picked up the script and I I started reading it, and like 6:30 in the morning I finished it, and I was like, holy fuck, I have to be involved in this movie, like, and I called up everyone I worked with. I was like, and no one was awake, you know, and I was like, you got to get me a meeting with David Ayer, get me a meeting with David Ayer, come on, I gotta meet him. And the next day I was in his office, and um, I was having a meeting with him, and you know, I was telling him like I would devote my life, and he was like, "Yo, man, he's like, I'm gonna change your soul, homie. Are you ready for that? Like I'm gonna poison your mind." And I was like, "I'm ready. I'm ready." You know. So I mean, so bad. I mean, anytime anything inspires you, like to me, my opinion is to just go after it as hard as you can. You know, I mean, and that's what I always try and do. Sometimes it doesn't work out, you know, but in this case, it did. So it worked out.
So when you went on the ride alongs and stuff, did the cops like did they embrace you right away, or did they give you any shit or anything?
Oh man, no, not they did not embrace this right away. I mean, you know, and also, I mean, after a while, Mike and I, you know, we were with Inglewood PD and Sheriff's Department over at Century and southeast side of, you know, the department. And at first, you know, there was a lot of politics, you know, and you know, it was a lot of like figuring out how much they could trust us and how much we could trust them and what was going on, you know. But we developed like real friendships, probably 4 or 5 different sets of partners who we would keep going on these ride-alongs with. And after a while, you know, we were able to really see what was actually going on. And but yeah, at first it was a whole lot of like two actors coming in and like, you know, what are they gonna, you know, are they gonna be, you know, scared of whatever's going on? And we had to prove ourselves to them. And that took a while, you know. I mean, you can hear actors say, "Oh, I went on ride-alongs," you know. I hear that now, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. You know, I mean, we went on like over 40 ride-alongs, you know. So after that, 40, 50 ride-alongs, you're just like, I mean, we would go on some after that. We'd be like thrown with like a random person, you know, and they'd start doing the like whole political, like, "I'll take you over here. Like, look at, like, you know, look at this. Isn't this scary?" And we'd be like, "We need to get out. We're done. We don't want to do this. We want, you know, we know what it's like to really ride along, and we don't need this." So
That sounds like a comedy in itself, where you're having actors doing ride-alongs with cops. Like that sounds like it could be a comedy.
It could. We should have documented that. It's pretty funny, like when real shit was going down, and Michael and I are like running around like trying to hide and protect ourselves. Yeah, that's it is pretty funny actually at times. But I mean, and we get shit all the time. I mean, by the way, that's not we recognize the comedy in the situation. I mean, and a lot of times that's like you got to go through that kind of hazing process, and believe me, I know the absurdity of my own job. You know what I mean? And after having spent time with real police officers, I definitely know the absurdity of my job.
So at the end of it, did they give you one of those like police cars for?
Zach, I'm so sorry. This has to be the last question.
Okay.
We gotta go. Thanks so much.
Did they give you like one of those get out of jail free things, or like get out of a ticket free things?
No, dude. Funny. I finished up the movie, and literally the day after, I didn't stop fully at a stop sign, and I got pulled over by L.A.P.D. And they were like, I was just like, give me a ticket. I'm sorry. That was stupid. You're right. That was stupid.
Oh, you didn't drop any names?
What?
I figured you could like drop a name or something to get out of it.
No, man. No. And cops can't either. That's the thing. It's like they get all these. Yeah, there's so many stories of like everybody having this some sheriffs like doing this huge drug bust, and the next day they get a speeding ticket. I mean, nobody gets off. Everyone's accountable. Once you're a citizen, you're a citizen.
Well, that's good to know that they're all held accountable.
No, without a doubt.
All right. Well, thanks for doing the interview. The movie comes out this Friday, right?
Yeah, the 21st.
Yeah. All right, cool. Good luck with everything.
Thank you, man. Thanks for talking to me.
Yeah, thanks, guys.